Hi, and welcome to Girl Talk. Janet and I took a little road trip to Monroe today. Nice drive.
It's really actually a lovely drive. I really enjoy it. The fields and a lot of good scenery. Saw some geese and some sandhill cranes. You were busy driving.
She didn't mention the good conversation notice. But we did have a lovely time, and the reason we are in Monroe today is because we are filming at Monroe Furniture Center, and we're going to catch up with the owner later in the show about a really interesting topic, one you might not have considered, which is how your furniture is affecting your health and wellness.
Mm-hmm. They actually have a health and wellness showroom, and we've checked it out personally, and it was wonderful.
Yes.
They have some really fantastic massage loungers, and you know, when I first heard that, I think of like some bouncy, rumbly kind of thing, and boy, maybe they used to be like that. If they have, they've come a really long way.
Or a lot of you out there who get pedicures might be thinking about the chair that you sit in when you go to the salon to get a pedicure. A lot of them have the massage chairs.
Oh, really?
This is way more intense than those.
Yeah.
Because there's, those usually have some things in the back. This is arms, calves,
and it's
toes.
And it's not vibration, it's squeezing. It's squeezing. Feels so good.
It's almost like going to a massage therapist, and maybe even better because you can do it at home.
Yeah. Great.
So we're going to be talking about those chairs and a lot of other things that they have in their wellness showroom. You can see we're partial to the chairs. We're also going to talk a little bit about dental care. So everybody needs it, right? Everybody goes to the dentist, or you should. And Dr. Angela Cody has some important tips for us.
Yep, actually we'll catch up with her and talk a little bit about gum disease. I think it's something that we've all heard of, but maybe don't know everything about it. So brushing and flossing actually may not be enough.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because those are some of my favorite activities.
Are you a big brusher?
Oh my gosh. I brush my teeth multiple times a day. And I think you have a particular to flossing.
A flossing habit.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to give a shout out to an ex-boyfriend. That's where I really started flossing. And I got to say, I heard an interview one time of a dentist where he was asked how often he flossed. And he said, about 4 times a day. And I was like, 4 times a day? Who does that? How crazy is that? I got to say, I'm in that category now. Anytime I brush, I floss.
Yes.
I never thought it would be possible, but now it's just like anything, it's
routine habit, and then you notice it if it's not there, right? Too.
I think that's part of what keeps it going then too.
Yeah, you bet. So we're going to get some great tips about that. We're also going to check in with Melissa, and if you attend this festival event, you're going to need some floss yourself, and definitely a good brush because we're talking cheese. But oh my gosh, the World Championships of Cheese is what we're talking about.
Well, we are in Cheeseland, not only just Wisconsin, but Monroe, the Monroe cheesemakers, of course. They have some award-winning cheese producers right here in Monroe, and Melissa's with the Chamber of Commerce. We're going to chat with her about some of those award-winning cheeses.
And did you know that the #1 cheese in the world actually came from Monroe? Last year they won Best Cheese in the World.
That's
one of the
saying something.
Cheesemakers.
That's really saying something.
I mean, I don't think it gets any better than that. So that's pretty incredible, and boy, am I a cheese fan. And we were talking a little off camera too about how we take for granted sometimes the good cheese here in Wisconsin.
I think I tried cheese curds somewhere else. I don't remember where. It was not the same thing at all. It was actually kind of horrible. So we are spoiled.
We're very spoiled, and you're going to be spoiled too because we've got a great show for you. So stick around. We're here at Monroe Furniture Center on Girl Talk.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We're getting comfortable today at the Monroe Furniture Center. Actually, later on, we're going to get even more comfortable when we take a look at their health and wellness showroom. But right now, we are in the land of the Monroe cheesemakers, so let's talk about cheese. With us today, we have Melissa Even. She's the Executive Director of the Monroe Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for coming in today, Melissa.
Thank you guys so much for inviting me, and I really do appreciate it.
All right, the cheesemakers are excited because there was the World Championship Cheese Competition. Thank goodness they didn't throw cheddar in there because that was already a mouthful.
Yes, tongue twister.
So when and where did this happen, this championship?
It actually happens every other year, and it is held at the Monona Terrace, and in March of this year was the most recent one.
Wow, so just last month?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yes.
Okay, so this is important to you specifically because a lot of Monroe's local producers have won an award this year. So let's talk about them.
Yes. So in 2016, that would have been the last time it was held. Emmy Roth here in Monroe actually won the best cheese in the world. So they
In
were
the
the reigning
world.
champion. They were the reigning
That's
champions.
incredible.
So,
Well, the title of this is the World Championship.
I shouldn't be so
right?
surprised.
Yes.
That's incredible. So that's
Yes.
just a short drive for the best cheese in the world.
I know, right?
And they did let somebody else take the reign this year, but they, along with Klondike cheese and Maple Leaf cheese here in Monroe, all ended up taking best of class awards in multiple categories. So to have a concentration of the world's best cheese all in one city is really a fantastic thing for us. And I like to think that this is not a fluke. This is historically what we see every year at the cheese competitions. So we are very well known for our cheese producers. And again, these three companies have come back with top of the class cheese again.
So let's tick off those awards one more time. The best of class.
Best of class. So Emmy Roth got best of class with their peppered flavored cheese. Klondike cheese got best of class for Brick and Munster, flavored high protein cow's milk cheese, and low fat cheese. Then Maple Leaf won best of class for cheddar aged 1 to 2 years and in open class smoked and soft semi-hard cheeses. So
Well, good a job to them.
Exactly.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So cheesy. As if we needed another reason to come to Monroe, this is certainly helping. But let's talk about sort of the recognition that you were receiving for your cheese here and how that affects Monroe, the city.
Well, agriculture and the cheese industry are driving our economy. So, of course, when we do receive those kind of recognitions, people pay attention. And people pay attention worldwide. So we get international travelers that do want to come to the city of Monroe and not only be tourists, but we have other top cheesemakers around the world coming to Monroe to see what they can learn from our cheese producers. So it really opens the door and makes us a much wider scope of tourism.
For Little Monroe, Wisconsin.
For Little Monroe,
It's
Wisconsin.
like Cheese
Yes.
University.
Yes, it is.
I love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
I've actually heard people say that I think because we've grown up here that we sort of take it for granted until you get out of the state, out of the country, and you're looking for some good cheese.
Yes, exactly. And people from Monroe, when they travel abroad, or even if they're traveling to another state, it's always kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. Oh, I bought cheese from Monroe when I was in California.
Oh, yeah, and that's funny. And then when I have visitors that come to Wisconsin, I have noticed that that's what they do. They stock up on cheese
Yep.
and either ship it home or
Yep.
get it in their suitcase. I mean, it's amazing.
Best to stockpile it here.
So what's the answer if people want to get their hands on some of these award-winning cheeses?
Well, we would always like to invite people to come to Monroe directly and purchase from one of the many stores that carry these lines of cheeses. A lot of cheese factories have their own stores. So if you are fond of a particular variety of cheese, you could step into any cheese factory, possibly do a tour,
How
purchase
fresh.
your cheese. A lot of them will ship home for you, so you don't have to carry it with you throughout your visit to Monroe. So we try to accommodate people the best we can
What
with
a
those.
fun weekend
Yeah.
activity or something to do with a family member that's visiting.
Yes.
Okay, we got to go to break, but what else is coming up in the world of cheese before we go?
You know, of course, because we have such a great community of cheese, in September every other year, we have cheese days. So the third weekend in September, it's the 14th and 15th. And 16th of September, we have cheese days. So keep your eyes open for upcoming events with that. And the National Historic Cheesemaking Center will be opening in May for their tourist season. So that draws a lot of attention as well. So those are some really great cheese-focused events. You can come to Monroe, spend the weekend, spend a few days, and really absorb what the culture of cheese is all about.
Sounds fun, sounds good tasting, sounds great overall. Great.
Cheese-focused events.
Thanks, Melissa. Melissa Even is the Executive Director of the Monroe Cheesemakers Chamber of Commerce. I got it all in. And we're Girl Talk. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We're here today at Monroe Furniture Center having a lovely time in Monroe. We're going to check in with the owner later about how furniture can actually benefit your health and wellness and keep you more stress-free. We could all use that.
Sounds great.
Janet recently caught up with Dr. Angela Cody out at Village Smile Care.
Yeah, this is a dentist office out in Mount Horeb, and we talk about gum disease. I think that's something that we all hear about, know a little bit about, but she's going to tell us some do's and don'ts, treatments. Can it be cured? What's normal, what's not? Let's take a look. If you're looking to trim your dental bill, some folks consider skipping the x-rays, but is that really a good idea? How important are they, and how often should we have them? Here to answer those questions and more is Dr. Angela Cody. She's here at Village Smile Care in Mount Horeb. Thanks for letting me come back and ask you about dental health.
Yes, thank you.
So, we need dental x-rays, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, so we always do a visual exam, but there's so many areas of the mouth that we can't see visually, and they're very important to check. So without them, we're missing a lot. And a lot of things, if they're caught early, can be treated more conservatively. For example, about 60 to 75% of cavities start between the teeth where you'd floss, and without x-rays, we just can't see that area. And if we wait until we can actually see them, a lot of times the decay will already be into the nerve, requiring a root canal. So it's important to detect the cavities between the teeth. Other types of x-rays can show us bone levels and check for bone loss, as well as seeing cysts or things that might be developing in the jawbone that we wouldn't be aware of without them. So it's really important to see those areas both, on the x-ray that we can't see visually.
Mm-hmm. What types of x-rays do you do here?
So most of the typical dental x-rays that are done are bite wing radiographs, which are the ones that show the upper and lower jaw at the same time. And those mostly check for cavities between the teeth and bone levels. A periapical might be taken to see the root structure of a single or multiple teeth. This machine here takes a panoramic, which goes around the head. That's good for orthodontics, to see the roots in the bone, also checking for cysts and tumors, things like that, and any problems with the roots, and also wisdom teeth. And then we also have 3D imaging, CBCT, which is a newer technology that shows 3 dimensions instead of 2. So that's useful for planning things such as implants, checking bone density and levels, and also looking for canals and cracks in teeth for root canal treatment.
It is really amazing how much dental care has come along over time. Mm-hmm. How often do we need to get the x-rays?
It really varies patient to patient. We tend to customize that. Patients that are at higher risk for cavities might get them as often as every 6 months. But a typical patient, about yearly, is good to check for the cavities, and then getting the full series of either periapicals or panoramic to check the bone and roots is about every 3 to 5 years.
Okay, so sometimes, well, I think anytime we talk about x-rays, you can't help but think about radiation. And how much exposure are we getting? Should we be worried about that?
Well, that's a common concern a lot of our patients have, and I think it's kind of a misconception that you're getting a lot of radiation. Dental x-rays are very focused, so we use a small cone and it comes in and only gets the area we need. And so that is, less radiation than medical x-rays for sure. A typical dental x-ray, I have this graph that shows some interesting facts, but eating a banana even exposes you to radiation. And so the typical amount of radiation we get just in daily life from the environment is about the same as a full set of dental x-rays. And so it's actually less than a flight, like a 1 to 2 hour flight is typical of what a full set of dental x-rays are. A single image is only 2 microsieverts. Just to give you a range, the full set would maybe be about 4 to 10 microsieverts. And a flight would be, about that same amount. A chest x-ray is 5 times that, and a mammogram is 3,000 microsieverts. So it's very, very minimal. So the dental, it's very small, and there's been lots of things that have decreased that radiation.
And what can we do ourselves to reduce any exposure, even though it sounds like it's small?
Yeah, it is. So we recommend, we use aprons and thyroid collars as needed depending on the type of x-ray. I also recommend finding an office that uses digital. It's about 70% less radiation than traditional film x-rays, so that can help lower your dosage for sure.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, and if people want more information, just to kind of read on their own, where do you recommend them going?
The American Dental Association has a lot of great information. So if you visit www.ada.org, you can get some good tips about when you should have x-rays specific to you and radiation dosages.
Or you can just come to Village Smile Care here in Mount Horeb and talk to Dr. Angela Cody yourself. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We're Girl Talk. Stay close. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. If you're just tuning in, we have been here at Monroe Furniture Center. We've been out and about all over this season, and right now we've been joined by Jerry Beckman, who is the owner and general manager of Monroe Furniture Center. And you may not know this, but your furniture can make a big impact on your health and wellness. And that's what Jerry's going to share with us today. Thanks for coming here and being with us today.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming down again to see us, and certainly thank you for having me.
You bet. So I'm curious about the showroom because we've actually, Janet and I have spent some time in the health and wellness showroom. Maybe too much time enjoying it, but what's included for folks who haven't seen it yet?
Well, the whole idea behind the health and wellness showroom is really, it's just, it's our section of our store that is really meant to help people lead a better life, lead a less stressful life. So what's included? Adjustable bed bases, so you can adjust your head or adjust your feet. Sometimes there's massage settings in them. Lift recliners for those people who maybe need a little assistance getting up, standing up.
Especially out of squishy chairs.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the technical term.
Squishy, yeah, that's right, the squishy thing, yeah. Mobility scooters. We sell mobility scooters for those people who have a little problem. Maybe they have a job, but they really can't be on their feet a lot, so they can use this in the workplace. They can use it in their home. They can use it at the mall. You know, you go to the mall and you always see these scooters, right? Well, we sell them, and people can, and they fold up. You can put them in the trunk of your car, take them with you.
Really?
Absolutely.
that?
They only weigh about, the one I took at the Business Expo in Monroe last weekend, I took one down there. I think it weighs about 48 pounds, 50 pounds.
Wow.
So you put it in the trunk of your car, you unfold it, and then you go. You know,
Great.
so
That's so nice.
so the
and
mobility
handy.
scooters, and then we carry these state-of-the-art massage chairs. We carry about a line of about 6 of them, and they massage you from the tips of your toes all the way up to your neck, and they are awesome. And so the whole category is really kind of meant to aid people in feeling better.
I mean, these massage chairs, I mean, they even do your arms and everything. This is why they're so hard to get out of.
I was surprised too. I loved how it was getting the calves. That surprised me. There's so much different than I guess what I was expecting. So what would you say is the number one, if you had to pick just one benefit of having these products and offering them to people and having them in their homes?
Definitely relaxation and stress relief. I mean, all 4 of the products that I mentioned, like I said, I have an adjustable bed base at home. So you don't always feel the same every night. The goal when you go to bed at night should be to get as long of a period of sleep as you can. You know, people complain, I go to bed at night, I sleep for an hour or 2 and I wake up, and then I sleep for an hour or 2 and I wake up. I sleep for an hour. You don't get a good night's sleep when you're getting up every hour. So what you want to really try and do is get in as comfortable a position as you can and lengthen the amount of sleep you can. So if you can make that hour or 2 into 6 or 7 hours, you're going to feel a lot better the next day. You're going to wake up feeling more refreshed, more relaxed.
And imagine the trickle-down effect that'll have into your family, your work life, everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you get up in the morning and you feel miserable, your day at work already has gotten off to a bad start.
Yeah.
You know, if you wake up in the morning and you feel good, your day at work is going to start off in a better. I don't know how it's going to end, but it's going to start off better. You know,
Maybe you could save the $5 on the Starbucks.
right, exactly. You know, and the same thing with the lift recliners and the scooters. For those people who have some disabilities or, you know, and in all honesty, we don't sell lift recliners to just people with disabilities. There are people that are perfectly healthy that buy lift recliners. Because number one, lift recliners in today's world are much more comfortable than they used to be. They used to be like a medical type chair that they didn't really sit all that great. You know, now they sit as good as any other recliner in the market, but they just assist you in lifting up. Same thing. If it's helping you get up, if it's helping you, you know, your life to be easier, does that relieve stress? It certainly does.
You know, I want to go back to the massage chairs with folks with disabilities because, especially if you're in a wheelchair, you don't get a lot of activity. And to be able to get in a massage chair to squeeze those muscles and bring some relief, I bet that's got to be a real nice treat.
Absolutely. I had back surgery a number of years ago, and so I have a little problem with my the right side of my sciatic nerve. My calves, these things massage, you mentioned your arms, they squeeze your arms, air compression in your arms, air compression in your calves, your feet. There's rollers that roll your feet, there's rollers that roll the back of your calves. I sit in my chair most every night when I go home for about a half an hour, And it really does relieve that tension, relieve that stress.
These are so much more than the rumble chair kind of thing that you might be thinking.
Yeah, the good old days, you know, we would sell a massage recliner and they put a little vibrating box under the seat and in the low back, and it just sat there and vibrated. These are not that at all.
Jerry, can you talk about how easy they are or are not to operate for folks?
They really are. All three or all four categories are quite easy. Most of the adjustable bed bases have a hand wand. You can just hit a button up or down. The massage recliners are a little more sophisticated. The one I own, I think there's like 10 different settings that you can set. But you can program your own setting too. If you say, you know, I just want my low back massage, or I just want my shoulders massaged, my feet massaged, you can pre-program this to do what you want it to do. With the lift chairs, same thing. The lift chairs are becoming really sophisticated too, because it used to be the lift chairs, it reclined you back in a position, whatever that position was. Now you can move the back independently, you can move the foot independently, you can really set it wherever you want. Again, like I was talking with the adjustable bed bases, you can get comfortable, whatever's comfortable for you. It might not be for the next person. So you can adjust it to really get, you know, comfortable for you.
Yeah, and it's comfort is so individualized. One thing that I was surprised about, we keep going back to the chairs, but we really like the chairs. One
do
thing
too.
that I was surprised about with the massaging chairs, because I like a massage that has a good amount of pressure, and you would think you wouldn't get that from a chair, but it was really like a deep massage. It was incredible.
They are a deep tissue massage if you want it to be.
We're almost out of time, but I think it's definitely worth mentioning that when you deliver these items, you will help people figure out how to work these things and maybe get that custom setting. So all they have to do is push the button.
Right. We'll deliver it, set it up for you, and our guys will show you how to run that before they leave. Absolutely.
And run us through the list real quick before we head to break of the 4 areas that you have. So we're talking about the massage chairs, the adjustable beds, name the other 2. The
mobility
mobility
scooters
scooter
and lift recliners.
and the lift recliner. So there's 4 great ways to have more comfort and stress relief in your life.
Absolutely. And
So
it helps.
great.
It really does.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for sharing this with us. Again, we've been at Monroe Furniture Center having a lovely time. Thanks for hosting us today.
Thank you for coming.
We appreciate all of our guests, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Girl Talk. Beauty and styling for Girl Talk provided by the Ultimate Veritas Spa and Salon.